It's the the 31st of October, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Right, so thank you. Yeah. Look, you had a meeting. Sure. Okay. Good morning, Mayor, and good morning, Roy.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo, first year Yeshiva Tzalman here in Yerushalayim, care of Zoom. We're learning our first year. Currently, Tshuvas from Rav Moshe. He's now going to be explaining to us how we can approach and deal with Bachram in Yeshiva at a young, tender age, and they are interested in branching out from Yeshiva and starting careers, high-profile careers, generally involving a lot of education, a lot of expenses, a lot of secular involvement. And so he's dealing with the question now in paragraph number 13, how to approach these Bachram to help them along in their life question over here. Good morning, Roy. How are you doing today?
Baruch Hashem. Good morning, Rabbi Furst. Yourself?
Fine, Baruch Hashem. Even better now that we're all together here, even better. And you can refer to the document on your screen, paragraph 13 or 14 are there. That's what we're discussing today. Mayor or Lou, who would like to do a little reading this morning to start with?
I will.
Okay, sure.
Before you start, good morning, Lou. Good morning, Mayor.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Roy. I heard from my wife that your wife is recovering. Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem, yeah. Thank you.
Good to hear. I'm happy to hear that. Very nice, Baruch Hashem. So, full refuah shleima mitzvah Hashem.
Amen.
All right. Ulechein,
Okay.
the Maaseh,
Yeah.
Efshar, the Haf.
Im efshar, if it's possible.
Oh, Im Efshar, Im. The Hashpia, Alehem, Sharu, B'yeshiva, Lilmod Torah, V'lo Yadagu, Bit Inyanei Parnasa Klal. So therefore, one should act, if possible, to influence them that it's proper.
That they should be influenced. Yeshiva, they should remain. Yeshiru be yeshiva. They should. If it's possible that you should, if you can influence them, that they should remain in yeshiva to learn Torah.
They should remain in yeshiva to learn Torah, and not be worried about the matter of a livelihood at all. Kechol alav rotzim lilmod Torah. That all of them should want to learn Torah.
That they should influence them. They should remain in yeshiva to learn Torah and not have concerns. Don't have any concerns over the concerns of a livelihood. Like all those who are desirous to learn Torah. They know those who are desirous of learning Torah. Right, that they're not really concerned about the concerns of parnasa. Right, their main concern is their success in learning Torah.
Kehu machmas eitzim lilmod haTorah. that he machmas. What's machmas?
That shu machmas etzem limud Torah, meaning that. Yeah, I think you have to read this with the second part of the sentence. Shehi machmas etzem limud Torah tzorak lishdadol la hashpia Allah. Meaning, it's because of the um, central etzem, the central importance of limud Torah, because machmas, because of the etzem limud Torah, because of the central importance of learning Torah. It's you must put forth efforts. Hishtadal put forth efforts to influence them. Meaning the even though we're dealing with the following situation. You're dealing with young people, 17-year-olds, that they don't really realize or appreciate the true significance of Torah. So therefore, they're having other concerns about what they should be doing with their life. So the main etzem, meaning the primary crux of the issue over here, is based on their relationship with learning Torah. That you have to lishtadel sheyishpoel, you have to put forth efforts that they should be influenced in understanding the true significance of learning Torah to their lives and the lives of their future families and the lives of each member of Klal Yisrael. So that's the main work you have to do, is putting in efforts to help them understanding the true significance and value of Torah and learning Torah.
Aval im lo efshar the hashpia alav sheyashar Talmud v'yeshiva be'ofan shelo yid'ag al parnasaso le'echad le'lachar harbe shnayim v'yivtach b'hakadosh baruch hu le'ayan parnasaso. So, but if it's not possible to influence them to
Remain Yishar. Yeah.
To remain learning in yeshiva.
Shana v'shtayim, like that they should, if it's impossible, that you should influence them to remain another year or two in the yeshiva. No, excuse me. Yeah, no, sorry. I'm sorry. Af im efshar lashpia shishar Talmud b'yeshiva. It's impossible they should be influenced to remain learning in yeshiva, but often in a way.
In a way that they don't worry about Parnasa after many Shnayim, after many two
Shunim, and many
after many years. Vayiv Tach, and to trust in Hashem concerning the matter of Parnasa. So, in other words, if you can't do that, if you can't convince them to trust in Hashem and learn for a few more years, Af im efshar. However, if it's possible, the Lashpia to influence them, Sheyashar to continue, owed more, Shnei the shasim. What's shasim?
Af. However, if it's possible to influence them, shishar od shana v'shtayim. If it's possible to influence them that they should remain another year or 2 years.
Oh, shana o shtayim, 1 or 2 years. Mishum shalo yafsid klum, because they're not going to lose out on anything.
Right. Meaning, even those that you can't convince to remain in yeshiva, to stay in yeshiva for many years and join a kollel and continue on in a Torah life of learning, even if you can't do that, but still, it should be possible that you can influence them to remain another year or 2 years, right? Because they're not going to lose anything. They have to convince them that if they spend another year or two in yeshiva, they're not going to lose anything by that. I mean, if they are determined to start a career in medicine. So if they wait until they're 19 years to do that, years old, instead of being 17 years to do that, they're not going to lose anything. And you're biding by time. In the year or two that they might remain in yeshiva, you might be able to influence them sufficiently that they could maybe change their whole way of thinking about what they want to do with their life.
Tarikh lehis bonain harbe. It's required to try very hard.
You have to think about this very seriously. You have to think about this deeply, because why? Because again, this fellow in yeshiva, he is definitely determined to become a doctor. That's what he thinks his life's purpose is to be a doctor. He wants to become a podiatrist, and he wants to fix people's toenails. Right? That's his life's dream, to fix people's toenails. Right? He wants to be an ENT and look in people's noses and throats for the rest of his life. That's his purpose in life, and you can't convince him otherwise. So he's going to be leaving yeshiva. So let's say maybe we can convince him at least to stay another year or two, right? And like maybe in that time we can maybe there's a hope we can change him, and at least also he'll be growing, and maybe he'll develop a little bit better in a year or two's remaining in yeshiva. So that Rav Moshe is not so convinced that's the best way to do things. So you have to think about this very deeply. Why? What's bothering Rav Moshe? What is Rav Moshe concerned about that may not be a good? He's thinking maybe it's not a good idea to have him stay in yeshiva. Maybe, okay, 17-year-old, right? See you when you're 33 years old and you're now a podiatrist and you're fixing people's toenails, right? We'll see you then, and send us some money to help the yeshiva going when you finally pay all your debts to medical school. And Hatzlacha Rabbah. But maybe that's what we should say to him. I mean, why wouldn't you want to keep him another year or two in yeshiva?
Hare kishiyashar b'yeshiva b'machshava zu efshar lo liklako Lekalkel le'acharim. Acharim. That we see that if he continues in yeshiva, with this thought.
I mean, this thought that he's staying. Okay, he's let's say he'll be agreeable. He'll stay another year or two in yeshiva, but he's on his way out. He's definitely going to go to college and then from there to become a podiatrist. That's what he's planning to do. So if he stays in yeshiva with that makshava, with that point of view, right? After
it's possible for him. What is lekalkel?
to corrupt. He might corrupt others, meaning he's going to be in yeshiva, and his goal is not to become a Talmid Chacham. So it's possible by him remaining in yeshiva with another goal of not trying to become a Talmid Chacham, a Rebbe, a tzaddik. Right? It's possible that he's going to corrupt other people.
Barak is machirin tavu, and only he'll only what is machirin?
That it's only when you recognize Tiva, when you recognize his nature, meaning you recognize his character as being right. You recognize this you recognize this student, this bacher, as being a type of a person.
She bizman sheyu b'yeshiva yilmod keroi kamo im haisa kivanaso lilmod Torah le'olam. That in this time that he is in yeshiva, he'll learn properly, like someone whose intention is to learn Torah, la'olam. I don't know, for the world.
No, La'olam means literally it's forever. It's like he's learning Torah forever, meaning he's always going to be learning Torah. Meaning he's not going to be forsaking Torah. He's always going to be learning Torah. So if you see that this bacher in that year or two's time, that even though he's definitely at this point when he's 17 years old, he's definitely interested and determined to become a podiatrist. Nevertheless, if you see that this person's character and his nature is that if he would remain in the yeshiva, he'd be immersed in Torah just as if he would want to be learning Torah forever and ever, right?
V'lo lachshov klal odos machshavos haval shalo. I don't know. This whole sentence is beyond me.
Okay, below hashiv called oidos makshavas hevel shalo, meaning this. If you see that this bacher, even though he's determined to eventually leave yeshiva and enter into a medical or a legal or a high profile profession, was going to take years and years and expenses of training and secular education. But even though that this is what his eventual goal is, but if you see that by his nature is that when he would remain for another year or two in the yeshiva, he would not be influenced by this goal of his, and he'll be able to learn properly, just as if he was planning to stay and learn in the yeshiva forever and ever. And he's not going to pay any attention to his foolish ideas. Meaning his ideas are really foolish. You really shouldn't be doing it, but for whatever reason you can't convince him. Now, again, all these questions, you have to deal with these situations on a personal basis. Let's say you have a certain bacher, and let's say he comes from a broken home, and let's say he has no father to support him, and he's going to have to be going out very soon and supporting himself, and or maybe he has to help his mother with the expenses for the children that the father left and the father's not around, whatever, or maybe there's no mother around and the family situation's desperate. So he needs and has an opportunity to get some training now to get a career, and he wants to do that. But he still could be convinced to remain a year or another two in yeshiva before starting off into his educational preparation for a career. So if you can do that, influence him in that way to remain another year or two, and you know that the type of person he is, he's not going to be thinking about and influencing other people about doing the same. So then it might be worthwhile that you keep him on for another year or two in yeshiva.
Yesh להשפיע עליו כי אף בשביל הזמן דלימוד התורה לשנה ושתיים. Then there is a basis for influencing him because even because the time that he's learning Torah will be a year or two.
Right, because in this situation where he's not going to be influencing others and he's going to be learning properly for the year or two, so then you have an opportunity to keep him in yeshiva learning Torah for another 1 or 2 years, so that's very valuable.
Ha'hu davar gadol ma'od, and this is a very great thing.
Right, that he could keep him in the yeshiva for another year or two. So that's a very, very important thing. Very, very good.
So in other words, even if he goes for a year or two and then he goes to college, it's still good that you did it.
Right, right. Under these circumstances, that number one, he's not going to influence other people to think about engaging in secular careers, number one. And number two, that he's going to be learning properly the time that he's there in the yeshiva for the next 2 years. So that's a very, very important thing to try and accomplish, to have him learn another 1 or 2 years in yeshiva. You never know what could happen. Maybe in the meantime, he can find himself a nice shidduch, and maybe he can marry someone who's wealthy and someone who wants somebody to learn and continue learning. And maybe even they would want a doctor for their daughter, but they're willing to have a son-in-law that's learning for the meantime. And we'll see what the future has.
The Gam Hare Afshar Sha'acharei Shalimud the Yeshiva Od Shnei Ushtayim Yischazak Libo the Torah Vayashar Ben Torah Leolam. And also we see that it's possible that after that he learns in yeshiva more further for a year or two, it will strengthen his heart for the Torah, and he will continue to be a Ben Torah forever.
Right. Those 1 or 2 more years could change his whole life. So it's very important if you can influence him to remain another year or two in yeshiva, even more perhaps. Let's see. Yeah, okay, let's continue on. Number 14.
Uma shekasav. What is this abbreviation?
That's cover Taraskam. That's a salutation.
Okay. So this which is written. Kedavar betoach she'af she'ilchu lik al adaz lo yilma.
That's av kishe helku. That's the college. Even though that what was written, that kedavar b'tuach she'af, that he wrote, that it's it's definitely sure that when he's going to go to college,
Lo yilmadu divarim ha-asurim. He should not learn the ways of prohibition.
no, it was written meaning that even if, meaning because again, you're dealing with a bentor, or let's say no, you're dealing with a yeshiva bacher, and you're dealing with a situation where he's going to be headed to college, but that he can only go to college if it's guaranteed. It was written to Rav Moshe that we have to guarantee, like, or can we guarantee that if he goes to college, he's only going to learn those things which are permissible. He's not going to learn things which are usher. There are a lot of things they teach in college that are completely forbidden to learn and to read about and to be exposed to. A lot of atheism, a lot of other courses that they teach in the secular schools, and it's absolutely forbidden to read and to be exposed to those things. So even if you're gonna, that was written to Rav Moshe, even if you're gonna, can we allow him to go to college, even if it's guaranteed he's not going to be exposed to any forbidden secular information?
Shavadai ein lismoch al zeh. But certainly he's not close to this.
Well, samach means to rely. You cannot rely on this. There's no guarantee. There's no such thing as guaranteeing a person who's going to go to college is going to be free from forbidden information and secular knowledge. You cannot guarantee such a thing like that. I mean, he's definitely, if he goes to college, he's definitely going to be exposed to things which is forbidden to be exposed to.
The aim hayoso b'yeshiva lo havela lo shayashar ben Torah. That if he hayoso, what is hayoso?
If he will be, excuse me, if he'll be in yeshiva,
If he will be in yeshiva, what is holia?
it won't help. It won't help him.
It will not help him to continue to be a Ben Torah.
Right, because since he's building on what he said before, since you cannot guarantee, there's no guarantee that by going to college you'll be free from things which are forbidden, meaning going to college is definitely going to expose him to things that are forbidden. So therefore, it's not going to help that he remains in yeshiva, and it won't help him that he remains a Ben Torah. Why?
Yesh lachush shizman katzar achar as bo as hayeshiva. But there is lachush is to be concerned.
Right, that's right.
That the time the katzar is a little bit.
Yeah, or short time. That in a short time, there is to be concerned. There is to worry that in a short time,
After what's esbo?
after that he forsakes the yeshiva, there is to be concerned after a short time after he forsakes the yeshiva.
After he forsakes the yeshiva, sheyeh yachad im chofshim the chofrim v'im nachrim the nich rayost piu alav the ra the whole davar, that it will be together with what is chov shim.
Chofsim is what they would we would use the expression chalonim. Will be along with he'll be with chalonim and non-religious with koifrim and the and atheists, heretics.
Non-religious and atheists, heretics, and not nachrim is with heretics.
No, nachrim are non-Jew, goyim and goyas, male and female non-Jews.
Male and female, that they will influence him for evil in all matters.
Right. I know a case. I know a case that the influence is very great in all ways. I know there was a certain Levaya, and it was an amazing thing. I heard it with my own eyes and saw it with my own eyes and ears. And so there was a certain fellow that was niftar. He was niftar, and so his brother, and they came from a kosher home. They came from a kosher home. They kept kosher, and his brother who was giving it the hesped of his brother was. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. The whole hesped that his brother gave was how his big brother, this was his big brother that was dead now and about to be buried in a short time. And his whole hesped, the younger brother was giving about his older brother, how when he was that the younger brother went to college and his older brother came to visit him, how his older brother influenced him to go to the university cafeteria and start eating treif food.
Mm.
Amazing thing that that he said that he said his younger brother said to his older brother, I can't go, I don't eat there, it's not kosher. He says, don't worry, it tastes good, you should come, you should try it. And he said that this big brother influenced him, and once he broke through the getter, once he broke through the fence, that was the beginning of the end. It was downhill from there.
Gam who yoter mechashash ba'alma, and also he's more worried about things.
Well, it's all gam. It's also yosem mechashash ba'alma. It's also more than just a general concern. This is not just a general concern. Meaning, we just got through saying that he's now going to, once he leaves the yeshiva, he's going to enter the college, and besides from learning all the different things that are forbidden, but there he's going to be influenced. He's going to be an individual, a yachid, amongst the non-religious Jews and amongst the heretics of the Jews and amongst the non-Jewish men and women. And they're going to influence him in all possible dover and any possible evil thing that you can imagine. And Moshe is saying, don't think this is just a general concern. This is a specific, very real, absolute concern that you must have.
Af she maaseh eno noga zeh. Even his actions do not touch this.
Well, this is a halachic phrase. Av shelamaisa enu nogea zeh, meaning even though the lamaisa, meaning the question of the evil influences that he's going to be exposed to are not. That's not the direct question that's being asked. The direct question is being asked about the earning of parnasa. So, but the very real and specific concerns that you have to have about the evil things that he's going to be exposed to in doing such a thing like that. That's, even though that's not directly relevant to the question, right? The call ofen.
But the Vikol Ofen Tzarich L'Hashpia Alehu Shalo Yilchu B'Hayeshiva. That in all, what is Ofen?
That in any case, the call ofen in any case.
In any case, it's necessary to influence him that he should not go, he should not leave the yeshiva.
Right, that's right. That's the main meaning when you're influencing the person not to leave the yeshiva, the main concern that you should have is for him to remain in the yeshiva, meaning even though that he's going to be exposing himself to many different improper and forbidden thoughts and information and relationships, and they'll have many nisyonis in being that. But that's really peripheral, right? But because the main thing is you want him to really understand the importance of remaining in the yeshiva, not so much what the dangers are in leaving the yeshiva. I mean, that's very central and very real concern, what the dangers are in leaving the yeshiva. But really, the way you want to really successfully influence him is by trying to point out and have him appreciate the true significance of what it means to remain in yeshiva and learn Torah. Right? That's your main thrust of your argument in trying to influence him.
Ella Yaisharu Lilmod Kiroi Ule Is Gadal the Torah Im Efshar. But he should continue to learn properly and to increase in Torah if possible.
Right. That's your main goal, and your main thrust of your argument is trying to have him realize the importance of remaining and growing in Torah as much as he possibly can.
V'im lo efshar, and if that's not possible, ein ha'acharayos yoter al. I don't know this abbreviation.
If it's not possible to influence him in this way, yoser al ha-Torah's kavod. I mean, then you fulfilled your obligation. You don't have any more achrayas. I mean, if you try your hardest to have him remain in yeshiva, and you try your hardest to remain 1 year or 2 years in yeshiva, and you try your hardest to influence him in understanding the importance of Torah to his life and the life of his family, and the life of Klal Yisrael and to the world and universe in general. If you've done your utmost to do that and you're still not successful, the one who's writing this question to Rav Moshe, he has not any more further obligations to invest time and energy. If he's expended all that time and energy up till now and it's still not successful, then he's he's fulfilled his obligation and he doesn't have to be concerned any further.
Ach mikol makom im yimtza kitaras chayiv mi sheyachol lehashgiach alav sheyashar shomer Torah umitzvos likvoa zman lilmod haTorah. So if in any case you find that you have an obligation, one who's able to what's hashgiach?
Right. Meaning like, meaning, as we just said, that he's fulfilled his obligation. He has no more responsibility in this matter anymore. However, nevertheless, im yimsa if you can find somebody who can influence him, meaning if you've done your part, you can as best as possible try to find ways of influencing him, and you're not successful anymore, but still, if you can still find somebody else to be influential upon this person.
I see. That he should continue to guard the Torah and the mitzvahs, l'kavoa, a time to learn, and he can I guess establish a time to learn.
Right, having a fixed time of learning. If you can try and influence him to at least be true to keeping the Torah and its mitzvahs, and to have a fixed time of learning.
Yesh lichtar lasos zeh. It is his obligation to do this. Right.
Meaning, even though he's expended all his time and energy that possibly can be done, and he's not successful, but still that doesn't, and therefore he has no more obligations. He's not responsible anymore. But still, he can't give up on the person. Still, he should try and find somebody who may be able to influence him to salvage whatever possibly can be done to salvage him in the best way possible. Okay, very good. That was very good, Lou. Thank you. Any questions about what we've been learning here?
I don't know about a question, but it doesn't really ring true to me from my own experiences, because I was in college, and I was immersed in all of the things that he's saying that are so terrible, and nevertheless, I came to Torah, and I wasn't really influenced by anybody except my own interest in Yiddishkeit and in my spiritual development. It doesn't seem like this, he's making that this is this terrible thing that's going to ruin a person's life. I'm sorry, I have to go help my wife.
Yeah, okay, no, I mean, definitely will. You take a yeshiva bucher and you put him in college, his life is going to be ruined. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, I got to go. I had to help my wife with a problem she's having.
Bye then. See you later, Lou.
All right.
Thank you, Rabbi Furst.
So it's ironic that
Yes, ma'am.
I actually became more observant in college. I mean, living in Metuchen in a conservative synagogue, I mean, I was sort of very much influenced uh, spiritually and I guess even intellectually, like learning Pierke Avot and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But when I got to college, I think I mentioned this before, I ended up with a roommate who was from a observant background.
Right.
And, I saw him with the kippah and the tzitzit, and, I started asking about everything. And I actually started to wear a kippah and tzitzit all the time, even outside my clothes, while I was a freshman in college and all
Right.
through college.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about two different directions. We're talking about one who's coming close and one who's going farther away. There's no doubt about it that the way that a person's going to be influenced, right? That the influences of those things which are detrimental are always stronger than the influence of those things which are good. It's very, very, you find very um, uh, remarkable changes in people. That's why we just learned about Parshas Noach. Noach was extremely unique in the fact that he lived in a generation which was absolutely corrupt, and he was successful in resisting that corruption. In
right.
contrast, Avram Avinu, he did not venture into Sodom. Right? Noah was immersed in a generation of corruption and evil, and Avram Avinu would not allow himself to go to Sodom. Lot went to Sodom, and that was a big mistake, because the influence of evil, the influence of raw, is always more stronger than the influence of good. So when you're talking about taking a, excuse me.
I have to go see. Bye for
Okay, we'll see
Okay.
tomorrow, Roy.
Be well, Roy.
you too. I'll see you later.
Have a good
Okay.
day, Roy.
Right. So when you're talking about taking yeshiva bucker, someone who's been in a kosher environment and putting him into a non-kosher environment, there's only one outcome that can come, that he's not going to be as kosher as he used to be.
Right.
Right. And on the other hand, that if you're coming from the point of trying to get closer to meaning, obviously, both Mayor, you and Lou also, obviously, whatever it was, whatever could be a combination of many different factors, whatever it was that brought you closer to what you're doing now. You're devoting yourself to Torah and mitzvahs, right? And coming from a secular background, and nevertheless still being able to understand the truth and love the truth and fulfill truthfully what Hashem wants for you in life, right? So that's that's an accomplishment which is very significant, and it is and has and continues to be being done. But but the normal the normal path is that person who's a kosher and he's put into a non-kosher environment, it's not going to be very good for him, and it's be very corrupting and very detrimental.
Right.
But the other way, that if you're moving closer to what the truth is, so there, people are attracted to the truth, and you see many cases. Ruth, for example, Ruth is a prime example of a person coming from a non-Jewish background and changing, but yet you see her sister. Her sister went back and became corrupt, and in all ways possible. So there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. Right. Okay. Let's take a break. We'll start Mr. Brewer's here in a few moments, Mr. Shem. And
Thank you, Rabbi.
okay. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you.
Kayak, Lou.
Thank you, Mayor.